be doing my August TBR. We're not even going to discuss how I be disappearing and coming back and disappearing and coming back. Just know that I hung out with my besties recently, and they just really put it in perspective for me that I'm spending the time to make the content and then I'm letting it sit in my phone. And it really shouldn't matter when I post the content as long as I don't waste it because I spent my time making it. So there are a lot of factors as to why, which I feel like I tell you guys all the time when I make a return, that I stop filming, but you know, it just boils down to feeling like I don't have the quiet time, feeling like things need to be perfect or look a certain way, and editing. Honestly, editing is a really big one, but I'm hoping to get back into that. You guys also know, admin for a book group, and we have recently decided to make it much more lax than it ever used to be. I'm talking, we were doing posts every 2 hours, 7 days a week. So now we're doing one post a day. And that is going to free up a lot of my time. It already has. Honestly, I'm noticing a very big change in my personal life because of it. And so I'm hoping that that means I can pour myself back into this, because another thing that it always comes down to is that no matter what, how long it has been, I always think about filming. I always want to come back to filming, and I always crave like making a video. I always have ideas. I have an entire list of video ideas in my phone, and I slack so hard. So here's to making a comeback, but also giving myself grace and posting and editing when I feel like it, because at the end of the day, this is just for fun. Anyways, all of that to say, TBR video, I know before I was doing cards, but I did get this cutesy jar when I was away with Darielle for Father's Day, and so I just put the prompts from the cards that I still enjoyed and still were like tailored to my current reading tastes in here. I asked on Instagram. Amanda did give me a bunch of good ones. Thank you so much, Amanda. And then of course came up with a few on my own. So I have this jar full of prompts that we'll be picking 5 from. There will be no rewards or punishments. This is just for the fun of it, and like to get a hopefuls list going for the month, because while I have been mood reading, I say that loosely because I participate in reading challenges still on Facebook, and so a lot of the times I'm reading things for prompts that they created. I still like to have a little list of ideas, like things that I can pull from. So this is what that will be. And of course, at the beginning of the next TBR video, we'll be checking in. There just won't be any punishments for that. So I'll be picking 5 prompts for this. And I also figured that this will be a good month to bring this back because of Fiction Falls, which I will put my TBR for the Fiction Falls Readathon at the end of this video. Also, you're gonna hear a lot of screaming in the background. This is what I mean by feeling like certain things have to be perfect. It just is what it is. Ezra is in the room watching some wrestling videos or games with Darielle, and this is my free time to film. So we're gonna hear that, and it's gonna be okay. So let's go ahead and pop it open and do the first prompt. I also did not fold these up, so I'm gonna try my best not to look while I do it and just get what I get, and I don't get upset. A poll pick. Ooh. Okay, this one I'm obviously not gonna know. Now I'll have that up on the screen whenever it's chosen. I think I'm just gonna have people pick from stuff that's on the cart though, because this is obviously my priority. I got this cart for my birthday in hopes that I would be in the mood sooner rather than later to start filming again. And I think I'm also going to post this poll in the Fiction Falls Discord, just because that's the vibe for the month with their readathon going on. I'm gonna have them pick. So I guess for you guys here, I will see which ones I'm going to have them pick from. And I think Hopeless to finish a series. I have really been slacking on this one, and honestly I'm at the point where I kind of just want to get it off my shelves because I don't think that I'm gonna like this one really. It's an age gap I've heard kind of mixed reviews about, so I kind of just want to get this one over with and finish the series and, you know, just say that I did it. So that's gonna be one choice. Then I am also going to do story of my life, simply because, first of all, gorgeous, but also I want to know if I like this so that I can get the gorgeous second book in the series. So this one will be going on the list. I don't know what that one is about. And let's see. I'm gonna do Addicted to You as well. This one, I believe, just has to do with two addicts. I think one is addicted to drinking and one is addicted to sex. Yes. And I'm assuming that this is going to be a toxic relationship. I don't know how I really fare with those. I feel like the only one that I've ever read was After, and I read that back in its Wattpad days. So I'm not really sure about the like tried published books. But I'm interested to see how I feel about this one because I would love to collect and continue the series. I also have the first book in the spin-off series, which is why I'm like chomping at the bit to start this one and see if, you know, I gotta keep buying the books. I think the last one I'm gonna put on this list is The Serpent and the Wings of Night because I've been dying to read this. Honestly, I still have not read a single Carissa Broadbent. I read like 5 pages of this on my Kindle when I first got my Kindle, and I just never continued, but I was intrigued. So these are going to be the 4 books for the poll pick. Only one of these is on my Fiction Falls TBR, but these are the ones that were calling to me just now. So let's see what they pick. Next prompt. Also now my cart looking a little roomy. Ooh, this is perfect. Okay, the next prompt is animal on the cover. And for this, I already know what I'm gonna pick because this is also a prompt on the Fiction Falls board. And that is Bitten by Jordan Stephanie Gray. I am not too sure what this is about. I actually just read the blurb yesterday, but I believe it follows a girl whose entire family was attacked and killed by werewolves, and I think she was bitten as well. I don't know if she turns or what. And then it's going to be obviously a romance between her, the Golden Prince, and look, it looks like he's promised to her nemesis. So maybe a love triangle, which is unpopular, I know, but one of my favorite tropes. So I'm hoping to love this. And it's gorge. It's so gorge. So that's gonna be the second book on the list. Let's go ahead and pick our third prompt. Oh, almost grabbed 2. And the third one is going to be weather on the cover. Does the sun count as weather? Like just the sun being on the cover? Technically, it can be sunny, so I'm gonna say yes. Okay, wait, I found another one. I say that these 2 books are only 2 options. One being Burning Daylight, and this, I guess you could say, is stretching it, but there's a big fat sun on there. It could be sunny. Sunny is a weather prompt, a weather element, a way that people tell the weather. I'm not sure. People say it's sunny, so I'm gonna count this. And then the next and final option is Daddy Issues by Kate Goldbeck, because down here they are in a car and it's raining. There's rain. I am intrigued. I only picked this because of the cover, and then I found out it was a single dad, and I was like, oh yes, I need that. But I don't have this on my like immediate radar, and this I actually do have on the Fiction Falls TBR. So even though it's the bigger of the 2, I'm gonna go this one just to like double up and try to really get myself to read this one this month. And I don't know much about this, but I believe it is a Romeo and Juliet retelling. So super excited, and it's gorgeous. Okay. Don't mind my empty cart. Okay, prompt number 4. An author you've been wanting to try. I've had to have people on here. I had to get up to grab my laptop because I don't know why I was confused on whether or not I had actually read this author before, but I double checked and I have not. And I believe actually, aside from like new authors that I haven't really heard of, this is the only one, oh no, 2 on the list. No, 3 actually. But this is the one that I want to do, that I haven't read from before. Anyway, all of that to say, the book that I'm picking for author you've been wanting to try is Bridge Kingdom by Danielle L. Jensen. Again, don't know much about it, but I am firmly in my romantasy era. Like, I'm tired of the regular romance. I want the magic. I want the morally gray men. I want the enemies to lovers, hardcore. I want it all. And I have heard really good things, really great things about this series. In general, I feel like this is a Roman Empire for a lot of people, so I'm super excited to give it a try, and then hopefully make my way to her other series, or I believe it's only a duology of Fate, Ink, and Blood, but this is the one that I want to start with. So this is going on the list for prompt number 4, and let's go ahead and pull the last prompt. God loves me. Okay, so the last prompt is small book. Now I say that knowing there ain't very many on this card. So let's see. Honestly, I don't think I would consider any of these small books. Okay, so my phone died right there, but that's okay because I took that opportunity to look for some small books that were on my radar. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and go with Tales from the Cafe. I'm looking over here so I can read it. I don't think I can pronounce that author's name correctly, but I believe it's Toshikazu Kawaguchi. I read Before the Coffee Gets Cold, and I really didn't think it was going to hit me how it hit me, but there was one story in particular for real that really got me in my feels, and so I don't say I would necessarily recognize this as a series because I believe it's just like people going to the cafe and, you know, having their own experience there. So I really would say this is more of like a collection of stories split amongst a bunch of books of people's experiences in this cafe, because I believe, if you don't know the premise, you sit at the table, you drink the coffee, you time travel back to a you know, like a time in your life that you want to, and you have to make sure that you get back before the coffee gets cold, or you stay a ghost forever. So I'm super excited actually to continue with this series and see what kind of stories I get from this, and if any more hit me in my feels. That was a little bit of a surprise, but I'm super happy to have it on the list. So now I'm gonna go ahead and really quickly get into my Fiction Falls TBR. I'm not going to like go square for square. I'm just gonna tell you what I plan to read for it and where I think it should slot in. And I'm gonna see if I can do the 2 randomizers on video if my phone will allow. So firstly, I plan to read, where is it? I do have Addicted to You on my Fiction Falls TBR. This I slotted in for BookTube Rec because I found out about it through BookTube, and I think specifically it was on Lindsay's channel from She Is Booked and Busy. Not saying that she loved it or anything like that, but she was reading the series. And I also have this slotted in for a cover that is at least 51% white. I have Bitten on my TBR for the Animal on the Cover prompt and the With Royalty prompt, because I believe I mentioned in the synopsis earlier that she has like a romance with the Golden Prince. The next book that I have on my list is The Last to Drown by Noelle Ely. I don't know much about this, but I slotted this in for Water on the Cover and Buddy Read because I found it in one of the book groups that I actively participate in. It is their book club book of the month, so that's why I'm counting it for a Buddy Read, because I'm in their reading challenge, so we will be talking about the book. And I think this follows a group of people who are on like a rafting journey, and there's a killer who is recreating mass murders. I'm not sure, but it will be my first thriller in a very long time, so I hope it is a win. The next book that I have slotted in for this TBR is The Sun and the Star Maker, and this one I am slotting in for has a romance between the Sun and the Star Maker, and also stars on the cover. I'm super excited for this one. Rachel Griffin is a hit for me. I don't know much else about it besides the Sun is going to fall in love with the Star Maker, but I am excited nonetheless. So we have Burning Daylight by Emily McIntyre. This I slotted in for Pretty Spine. If I'm not mistaken, Amanda actually used this exact book in the video when she gave her example, and I agree. And the next prompt I have this slotted in for is Nature on the Cover. It has all the pretty vines and leaves. And the last one is author or book I'm intimidated by, because I read a book that Emily co-wrote with Savar Miller and I hated it. So I really don't know whose writing it was that I hated, so I'm kind of scared. And also, this is a 500-page book that is a romance. So, like, do we really need that much time? We shall see. The next book that I have for this TBR is actually The Winged Game. This is my Fairy Loot copy. However, I will be reading this one on audio, so I do have it slotted in for wings on the cover, because the original cover does have a bird with wings. And the next prompt I have it slotted in for is favorite trope, enemies to lovers. And I also have it slotted in for game. If you don't know, this book follows Tayissa, I don't know. It follows her and Keon, and they are rivals. She was like the world-renowned player in their sport, this sport called Karawitchit, where it's kind of like rugby, but they played on winged beasts. Something happens in this game, and she gets expelled from the game overall. And I think in order to make her comeback, she has to play with him. So super excited. Sports, enemies to lovers, fantasy, romance. Ding, ding, ding. We have a motherfucking winner, I hope. And the next book that I have slotted in is Cemetery Boys. Another one that I haven't read from Ada Thomas before, so I'm not sure how I will like this one, but I have been super intrigued about it for years. It went around on BookTube a while ago, but I have it slotted in for 51%. Your favorite color, which my favorite color is red, and I also have it slotted in for accessories on the cover, because one of the main characters is wearing earrings. The next book I only have slotted in for this one prompt is His Juliet by Amelia Rossi, and I have that slotted in for underrated, because I hear no one talk about this series. I read the first book in May, because I was really in a mafia mood, and I absolutely loved it, and so I'm super excited to read the second book and follow the next set of characters. And that is everything for this TBR, except for the randomizers. So let me go ahead and get that together so we can see if I can fit any of these another time, or if we have to pick new books. But this angle keeps changing because I keep taking my phone off to charge it and putting it back on. But the two randomizer prompts, one is a letter generator, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And let's see, give me something good. D. Did I have anything with D on here? I'm not gonna lie, I also think I heard Amanda say that it could be anything, it doesn't have to be the first word. And if that's the case, then I'm going to quadruple up right now. Or, honestly, I probably don't even have to do that. I could just use this. So, if I am correct and it can be anything or any word on the title, then I'm going to use Burning Daylight. That way this book hits multiple prompts and I don't have to put anything else on this TBR. But if that doesn't work, then I am going to be slotting in The Bridge King, because I know it can be title or author, and at least her first name starts with a D. So we are going to go with that route. That way I'm not adding another book. And the last randomizer in this game is to flip a coin between your highest and lowest rated books. Now, on my Goodreads, this is just my want to read. This is not the books that I physically own, and the highest rated book that I have on my want to read list is The Ascended by Bree Greenwich, and the lowest rated book that I have on my want to read list is Haunt Your Heart Out by Amber Roberts, which is not necessarily the season for that yet, but I am super intrigued to figure out why that would be the lowest rated. Nothing too crazy, 3.14, kind of crazy, but nothing too crazy, not lower than a 3 at least. But I don't know, I feel like a lot of people in the book community usually vibe with the spooky reads, so I'm curious. Anyways, let's go ahead and flip a coin. Heads is going to be highest and tails is going to be the lowest. Heads, highest rated. So that means I will be reading the chunker of a book, The Ascended, for this prompt. And honestly, I don't even remember what this book is supposed to be about, so let me see if I can pull it up really quickly. I don't know if I have to read anything before this because the first thing I'm seeing is a part of the Sundered Realms Extended Universe, but it is book 1 in the series, so I'm not sure. Revenge demands the ultimate sacrifice. When twins Thais and Thatcher are thrust into the deadly trials of ascension, they'll navigate brutal competitions and forbidden desires, discovering some secrets are worth dying for and others are worth killing for. Oh, I'm down. The only con about this is that it's 754 pages. Yikes. We shall see. We shall see what happens with that one. If anything, it's only one spot on the board. I don't need to get a blackout every time. It is okay. So, we shall see. We shall see. But that is everything on my TBR. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys will continue to stick around on my channel. Videos every other month, videos every other 6 months or not. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.